out a video where people can't hear or they see, and he's like, hey, I'm Mrbeast, I fixed it, boom. Well, that's largely got him a lot of praise. There have been people going, yeah, fuck that guy. It's just, performance activism. He's just trying to look like a good guy. This is part of the business. Also, I'm going to disregard that lots of people's lives are made better because I'm angry.
Listen, he doesn't have to do this. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Future I See is up to me. So I am going to talk today about, obviously, Mrbeast. If you've been living under a rock and you don't know who this is, he is probably one of the biggest YouTubers out there. If you know anything about Mrbeast, he does a lot of philanthropic acts. And the majority of people actually give him praise for the things that he does. But he just recently built 11 wells in Africa, and he provided these people with a solution for them to actually get quality drinking water. Now, most people have praised him, and the comments have been, the reactions have been very positive and jovial. But then there's always these people out there who want to make this like the man is the most evil person in the world.
Isn't that Mrbeast is a Nostradamus, right? It's just based off of historical data, this was going to happen. He puts out a video where people can't hear or they see, and he's like, hey, I'm Mrbeast, I fixed it, boom. Well, that's largely got him a lot of praise. There have been people going, yeah, fuck that guy. It's just, performance activism. He's just trying to look like a good guy. This is part of the business. Also, I'm going to disregard that lots of people's lives are made better because I'm angry. Granted, it would make sense if it was at the system and the world, but I'm also going to direct it towards Jimmy, Mrbeast, because fuck that guy. And so when he released his new video, I built 100 wells in Africa, he kind of knew what was going to come. And in that video, he goes to Kenya, Zimbabwe, and other countries to install wells to give people drinking water. Also notably speaking to the local communities, giving their schools new equipment. Mrbeast closing his video by encouraging people to donate to the Water is Life campaign at Beast Philanthropy.
I know it's weird that a YouTuber has to do all this stuff, but someone's got to do it. And if no one else is, we're going to do it. As you can tell, it really does change the lives of the communities where we build them.
And so with that, as expected, he got a lot of praise for doing that. People applauding him for helping so many people using his platform and money for good. But as he predicted, he got some backlash, with some saying that he was exploiting vulnerable communities for content, or some accusing him of being a so-called white savior and arguing he's tackily packaging a myth, mostly to children, that Africans are helpless, featureless subject of his kindness, that Africa can only be helped by a white celebrity who's amassed immense wealth for.
Y'all, mind your own damn business, you naysayers out there. This is ridiculous. First off, he ends his video with giving you an outlet to donate. The man has 211 million followers. If each person gave $1, that's $211 million that would actually be donated to continue the quality of water that these people over in Africa are getting currently because of the good act that he did. And I just don't understand the negativity that comes from this. And he spoke about it, talking about, hey, I already know I'm going to get canceled for this, that, and the third. The perception of being the white savior and whatnot. The man said it in his dang on video. He said, nobody else is doing it, so I'm going to do it. So he took it upon himself. Listen, he doesn't have to do this. People are sitting here talking about he's exploiting communities of color or communities that are less privileged for his own monetary gain. I don't care about that. Personally, I don't. Because the fact of the matter is he's impacting hundreds of lives who, if he did not do this, would not have been affected in a positive light. And all these keyboard warriors behind the computer have so much to say, but I bet you they didn't even donate to the cause. So these are also the same people who would be like, hey, Jeff Bezos has all this money, but he doesn't do anything good with it. Who cares if it's the white savior or whatever? I don't care. People's lives are being affected. He's put out videos fixing people's hearing, helping people, 100 people see, and maybe he only films a portion of the people that he's actually helped. So, bottom line, the people out there, oh, he's just doing it for financial gain. He's exploiting people, whatever. Listen, if the man makes some money from making a YouTube video helping other individuals, God bless him. Because obviously, the money that he's making, he's paying it forward into the business. He does, trust me, the man has 211 million followers. He doesn't need to do this anymore. He's very well off. He doesn't need to do this at all. I mean, he could just sit there, be in his mansion, and not do any of these things. And these will be the same people that say, oh, you have all this money, you don't do anything with it. It really irritates me, man. And some of you need to really take accountability for what are you doing to make your community better. Stop worrying about everybody else. Stop worrying about people like Mrbeast who are actually taking their money and doing something positive with it. And you do something. What are you doing in your community? What are you doing to make people's lives around you impact them in a positive light? This man is out here making sure that people can drink quality water. See, and people want to talk about the optics. The optics only matter when you are in a position of privilege. These kids in Africa who have no drinking water don't give a damn about the optics when it comes to Mrbeast. They care about the fact that somebody decided enough to care enough to actually go out of their way and do this. And if he does it for content and makes money from it, so be it. Because it only allows him to make more money, to put more money into the business and impact people in a positive light. And I'm here for it all, quite frankly.
Of course, online, everyone sounds off on things. We actually saw some activists agreeing with parts of the criticism. With, for example, in a CNN report, them pointing to one aspiring Kenyan politician who accused Mrbeast of playing into a stereotype. After that, CNN talked to the founder and CEO of the water infrastructure organization Face Africa, who said, I've been doing this for 15 years, but we've been struggling to continue the work because funding, awareness, and advocacy all take work. And adding, overnight, this person comes along who happens to be a white male figure with a huge platform, and all of a sudden, he gets all of the attention. It's kind of frustrating, but it's also understanding the nature of how the world is. And with that saying, it was good that Mrbeast installed these wells, but also adding that doing it sustainably is what matters. Arguing that it's one thing to install wells and another to actually have them working 5 years from now. With their organization Face also going on to explain so much more of the—
Yeah, no, I definitely understand her frustration. This lady's been working on this for 15 years, trying to bring awareness, trying to bring, positive change in her community. And here comes Mrbeast along, and I think the video's been up 13 days. He has 110 million views or whatnot. And so I can obviously understand that frustration. Like, she's not really getting the praise and adulation for this, but at the same time, the man is bringing a spotlight on it and bringing the awareness. So at the end of the day, she praised him because at the end of the day, it's not about you. It's not about you. Take yourself out of it. It's about the people's lives that are being changed. So it's easy for us, some of us in America, to sit back behind our air-conditioned home, clean water, right, in some places in America, but for the majority, and be able to sit there and say that this man is exploiting people because we're speaking from a position of privilege being in this country. Point blank, plain and simple. Who gives a damn? The kids need drinking water. I don't get it. Worry about yourself and worry about what you're doing.
Consequences that come from not having access to water, right? Because beyond causing serious illness, it prevents children from getting an education because they need the help with water retrieval. This is something that disproportionately impacts girls and women as they're seen as the ones in charge of managing water and cooking and cleaning, with Face's website adding, the lost number of potential school days in education hinders the next generation of African women from breaking out of the cycle of unequal opportunity for gainful employment. With safe water nearby, women are free to pursue new economic opportunities and improve their families' lives. Also, in this situation, you have others arguing that this whole controversy highlights far more than just the issues with water in African countries, right? Some pointing to larger issues with income inequality. And understandably, while a number of places have this issue, a lot of the focus was on Kenya, as that's where a lot of Mrbeast's video took place. And actually with that, CNN pointed to a Kenyan activist who suggested that Mrbeast's video brought shame to the country, right? Saying leaders get grants for cars, but somehow there's no money to drill more holes for wells so people can have drinking water. And actually, to dive into that, you had Reuters doing a report back in 2018 noting that while Kenya's economy had grown roughly 5% annually over the last decade, it has not been equally distributed and has made the gap between the rich and the poor wider. And this is a small minority of Kenyans receive the wealth, and it's not trickled.
None of that has anything to do with Mr. Beast at all. I mean, quite frankly. And yeah, the stats about how having quality water has affected people's education, it's affected women's health, all these things, and this man is impacting that in a positive light. Keep in mind, he doesn't do this video, these problems still persist in the world, and nobody gives a damn about it. The man said, nobody's doing it, so I have the ability to do something, so I'm going to do it. And for all these people to have this backlash on him, it is just absolutely bizarre to me. But yeah, that's just my take on it. You guys can comment below and let me know what your thoughts are. I think this is completely asinine. And some people need to look in the mirror and take a little bit of accountability for themselves and figure out what they're doing to impact a massive amount of people. And that doesn't mean that you have to have loads of money. That doesn't mean that you have to be stupid, filthy rich. Are you paying it forward and trying to help somebody in a positive way like Mrbeast is? Listen, the man can sit here and make money for doing positive things because he even talks about how he spends millions of dollars to make his videos. So he's putting it back into his business. He's feeding into the community. He's helping other individuals in other countries that need this assistance. I don't get what's wrong with that. And honestly, someone in his situation, it's like you can't win. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Because if he was sitting on a yacht somewhere, someone would be hating on him because he's not doing anything with his money, but then he does something with his money and it's all of a sudden, you're a demon, you're the white savior, you're perpetuating a stereotype. Listen, I don't care. The people have needs. Someone's gracious enough and cares enough to go out of their way and do something. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. This man didn't have to go to Africa. He didn't have to go anywhere. This is crazy. This is crazy, but regardless of that, let me know what you think below. It's your boy Accountability B here. Wanted to talk about this as I talk about giving back and putting yourself in a financial situation so you're able to do certain things along these lines. This is the stuff that I talk about. This is why I started the channel of financial literacy. So, Mrbeast, keep doing what you're doing. Obviously, you don't need my approval or anybody else's approval, and I wish other people in life had that same mindset. Till next time, I'll talk to you. The future I see is up to me. Peace.